this note. I can't throw it away. No, please read it.
Hello and welcome to Final Cut. I'm your host, Kelly.
And I'm Tommy Barrett.
Tonight we're going to talk about The Gathering, the new PS4, the Richard Harris Film Festival, the Sicilian Musical Society, Narrative 4 and our Christmas countdown. But first, over to Gary, who we interviewed in The Gathering.
We went to The Gathering to check out the gaming scene here in Limerick and discovered that this community is part of a global business.
At The Gathering we opened in 1997. At this stage we'd be the longest running gaming shop in the country. We were one of the first. And we followed in the footsteps of the shop, originally called Games People Play. At the moment, we do a huge range. The gaming industry at the moment, it's massive regarding, say, board games, wargaming miniatures, models. We're kind of a bit of everything, really, we are. You know, if I started making a list, you can start in 4000 BC and go the whole way up to 40,000 AD and pretty much everything in between.
With the popularity of online gaming, we asked Gary how has the technology impacted on his business.
I'd say that initially a lot of the technology, as we'll call it, like online games, LMRs, stuff like that, a lot of it is influenced and developed from board gaming. Quite a lot of some of the biggest games in the world, the likes of MechWarrior or your Warhammer games, your online games, all come from an initial board game. Now, a lot of people thought that this would be the death of, say, Dungeons and Dragons and popular games like that, but it's almost like technology made gaming global. You know, one helps the other, and a lot of the games or a lot of the stuff that comes out down the line, most people have already played it in some shape or form. On a one-on-one, person-to-person level, you know.
With 20 years of business under your belt, we had to find out what was the secret to The Gathering's success.
A community. It is a community. I feel like this shop has facilitated the growth of that community. The irony is, in conversation, it's never referred to as my shop. Funnily enough, in my own conversation, I never refer it to as my shop, but it's almost become a third party amongst all the gaming groups where they go, they shop, and automatically they know where they're meeting, where they're hooking up. You know, there's people coming in here 15 years that started at 8 or 9, and they're the lads that are running the events.
Sony's new console, the PlayStation 4 Pro, has been released and it boasts higher viewing resolution and a better processor. The console will be able to play existing PlayStation 4 games, and now thanks to a more advanced GPU and processor, the boosted console is able to render supporting games in 4K resolution. A tad taller and with another angled layer on top of the original's familiar design, it's noticeably heavier, mainly due to a required larger power supply and its more powerful components under the hood. There's also physical power and disc eject buttons on the front, rather than the touch-sensitive zones on the original model. It's the guts of the PlayStation Pro that are of most importance here, of course, and are what push the console into realms of performance equivalent to high-end gaming PCs. There's a faster CPU, a 1TB hard drive and 8GB of RAM, and most crucially, a general processing unit that's twice as fast as the original PlayStation 4. This really seems to be one big step forward into the future of console gaming. Alongside the release of the PlayStation VR, Sony has really made itself a strong competitor against other gaming companies, Microsoft and Nintendo.
This November, the Sicilian Musical Society will be performing the well-known musical All Shook Up. This year, in 2016, is the centenary of the Society's founding, and the show is set to be outstanding. The comedy is based on the 12th Night by Shakespeare and set in 1950s America, with a few well-known hits by Elvis Presley such as Love Me Tender and Jailhouse Rock. Previously putting on performances of Oliver, My Fair Lady and The Addams Family, this well-acclaimed group are now being directed by Des Henn, with Barbara Meany as choreographer and Shane Farrell as musical director. The show runs from Wednesday the 23rd to Saturday the 26th in the Lime Tree Theatre in Mary Immaculate College, and tickets are on sale now either from the box office or from their website. For what is set to be a great night, we hope they break a leg. Now, over to our reporter Jude with a report on an interesting initiative taking place in downtown Limerick.
That's great, thanks Kelly. I spoke with Sheila Quealy, who is the programmes coordinator with Narrative 4 in O'Connell Street in Limerick. This is a global organisation and the Limerick office is the first outside of the USA. They've been working worldwide with all age groups, and this is a radical empathy organisation set up after 2012, the shooting in Connecticut, when a lecturer, teacher, Lee Qualick, was trying to deal with the fallout from this shooting. He did this by introducing the novel The Spinning World by Colin McCann. He contacted Colin, who arrived with a box of books, and they found that the children needed to talk not just about the disaster, but also about themselves. It's a wonderful concept of story exchange. The person you tell your story to repeats your story back to you, and in doing so they get to walk in your shoes and experience your story, nurturing a natural empathy and also active listening. To quote Colin McCann, create fearless hope by living your life out loud and brave. And if you're feeling brave this November, there's an open mic session in the O'Connell Street premises on the 24th of November, and the theme is Heroes. So you can bring along your story, and if you don't feel like actually experiencing the act of storytelling, you can contribute by active listening, which is also encouraged. And now back to Kelly.
Thanks for that, Jude. Next, we have access to all areas at the Richard Harris Film Festival. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Zed Moore, the Artistic Director of the Richard Harris International Film Festival, and welcome to 2016.
I wanted to explain before it gets too late. For your mother and me.
This year saw us take in over 180 submissions throughout the world, with 25 different countries participating. This is our first time hitting 5 days. The festival will continue to embrace the filmmaking in Limerick and also embrace our cultural aspects of what we do. We're delighted to welcome back Mr. Terry McMahon, which he will host his master acting class on Friday. Friday evening we'll see us move into our gala evening.
Hi, I'm Aoife. I'm part of the Richard Harris Film Festival. I do marketing and event planning. So my role is fairly busy, as you can imagine. Tonight it's our gala evening here in the Bell Table Arts Centre. So we're going to be showing Jagernaut, and following that we're going up to the George Boutique Hotel for a couple of drinks. We're also having loads of red carpet events, red carpet guests, so if you keep an eye on us you won't be disappointed.
And our very, very special guest this year will be 3-time Grammy Award winning Mr. Jimmy Webb. Jimmy Webb will perform for the Richard Harris International Film Festival in the Lime Tree Theatre on Saturday night. We can't explain how excited we are about that. Sunday then we will kick into our awards evening, after of course screening many more of your movies.
Hiya, I'm Tommy. I'm here to see Jimmy Webb tonight, but I live in Limerick, and I also have a film in the Richard Harris International Film Festival. So it's a great weekend for I guess for culture in Limerick, and for in particular the Richard Harris fantastically well organised, brilliant festival, and some great films, and I'm delighted to be part of that.
So to conclude, we look forward to seeing your new movies in the 2017 Richard Harris International Film Festival. Come one, come all, enjoy. This is going to be one of the best festivals in the world. I guarantee that.
My boy, you are my life, my pride, my joy. And if I stay because
Bringing you updates on how long it is till Christmas, what stages you should be at, and also how much work Santa has. There are only 4 weeks left until Christmas, so here's the checklist at what must be done so far. Number 1. All children must have written their letters to Santa, as he is very busy making billions of toys for children all around the world. Number 2. Christmas shopping can now be started, as Christmas lights have been turned on. Remember, it is never too early to start, so don't leave it all to last minute. Number 3. All household dogs must be trained and told that they must not bark at Santa when he comes down the chimney. Here at Final Cut, we understand that 2 dogs, Santa is just a magical postman that needs to be barked at, but please explain to them that he has only good intentions and may bring them a bone if they are good. And finally, the most important thing to be updated on is that Santa is currently choosing his top 10 toys list. So make sure to put a surprise on your Christmas list this year, as sources say it's going to be something special. That's all for our Christmas countdown. Tune in next week where we show you how to cook the perfect turkey.
Thank you for tuning in tonight, and don't forget to come back next week for more entertainment from Limerick City. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Tommy. And for us, this is the final cut.
Look at this note, I can't throw it away. No, please read